What's up, YouTube? This is Bison X89, guys. Today I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile for November 2019. And today, guys, we're going to be looking at my pure Orcust build, alright? Gotta say, this deck is kind of fun to play just as a pure variant. I can tell you right now, pretty easy to learn. Just to go off, set up your field, and be able to respond to your opponent's plays. Alright? So without further ado, we're going to get right into this. As always, we start with the monsters. And of course, we got 3 copies of Orcust Harp Horror. Alright. Now, Orcust Harp Horror, while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, special summon another Orcust monster, except for itself, out of your deck onto the field, which is awesome. Alright? Pretty much the key starter of all places to get this guy into your graveyard. So, above all, he's the guy you want to be seeing the most. Alright? Of course, we got 2 copies of Orcust Symbol Skeleton. Symbol Skeleton is basically kind of like the Monster Reborn when you banish him from the graveyard to special summon an Orcust monster from your graveyard back to the field. Okay. Then we got 2 copies of Orcust Brass Bombard. Brass Bombard, level 1 monster, also a tuner. Interesting enough, we don't run any synchros in this, but anyway, when you banish this guy from the graveyard, you special summon an Orcust monster from your hand. So just in case you happen to have a monster in your hand you need to get rid of, and you don't have a way to get it out of your hand into the graveyard, you can always get onto the field and then look it off from there. So, good card to have. Alright. Last but not least, we have 3 copies of Orcust Nightmare. Orcust Nightmare is just huge. Primarily because it's like the foolish burial for the whole archetype. Banish him from the graveyard, send another Orcust monster right from your deck to your grave. So, awesome. Alright, that's... And of course we have 1 copy of World Legacy War 1. Everybody knows what it does. To help the deck get going, we have 1 copy of Armageddon Knight, as well as 1 copy of Dark Grepher. Oh, these guys are so awesome in this deck. Armageddon Knight, whenever you summon them, sends a Dark Retreat monster from their deck to your graveyard, which is huge. And Dark Grepher is an extra level 4 monster that you special summon by discarding a level 5 or higher Dark Retreat monster from your hand to the graveyard. And then it can actually then send even more cards to the graveyard on top of that with his other effect, which is even better. Three copies of Scrap Recycler. Alright, Scrap Recycler basically is a Foolish Burial style monster with 4 machines. Excuse me. Alright, so all your Orcust are machines, so this guy can easily be a normal summon to dump a monster into your graveyard to get going. Alright. Of course, we have Gizmek Orochi. Alright, Orochi here basically can banish 8 cards from the top of your deck face down, the special summon himself out from your hand or the graveyard. Alright, while in the field, you can turn around and banish 3 cards from your extra deck to basically go after your opponent's card, which just makes it an amazing card. It is level 8, so it does fit well if you can turn around and grab other monsters that are level 8 to go into Dingirsu, but you won't be needing that. Alright, hand traps. 3 copies of Ash, pretty much standard, stops you from searching or sending cards from the graveyard, which is great in this meta. Alright. And then, of course, we got 2 copies of DD Crow. I was on the fence of whether to have DD Crow or Call by the Grave. I find DD Crow just a little bit better, considering that you just can keep him in the hand and just go after the cards as you need them. Alright, and DD Crow isn't a hard once per turn, so you can use him multiple times in the same turn. Okay, that's it for monsters. Spells. 2 copies of Allure of Darkness, just for a little extra consistency and speed for the deck. 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, take care of back row problematics, bait out your opponent's crescendos. 1 copy of Foolish Burial. This deck loves sending cards to the graveyard, so 1 more card to do that is not an issue. Another cool starter card. 3 copies of Instant Fusion. Alright, we got a couple of good targets here that can really mess up your opponent. Alright, so definitely something that's worth running. One copy of 1-for-1. This is primarily to get Brass Bombard onto your field by discarding a higher level monster, which is good. Orchestrated Babble. Field spell that turns all your Orcust effects into quick effects, which is huge. 3 copies of Orchestrated Return, alright. Pitch an Orcust monster from your hand or from the field to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. Awesome. And of course, to search out your Armageddon Knight or Dark Grepher reinforcement of the army. For the traps, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Pretty self-explanatory, negates monster effects, which is just awesome. And then, of course, last but not least, we got Orcust Crescendo to round out the main deck. 40 cards. Alright. Moving on to the extra deck, start with the Ixies. Of course, we got 2 copies of Dingirsu. This guy protects your field, can recycle your banished machine monsters back onto them as materials, which can allow you to continue to protect your cards. Alright. The other Ixies monster that I'm running is, I'm actually running 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller just helps out when going first in this deck. You can shut down your opponent's graveyard effects, as well as just give your opponent a whole lot of problems, especially in this meta. So it's very important to actually just make this guy turn 1 if you're going first. Alright, links. Link Karibo for your Link 1 Brass Bombard play. Your Link 2s. 3 copies of Galatea. Galatea is very useful, basically allowing you to return your banished machines back to the graveyard in order to turn around and get out your Orcust spells and traps onto the field. Typically you go in Crescendo turn 1, so awesome card to have. And then you can basically climb into Dingirsu. Alright? We got an abbreviated Nightmare Package Unicorn to spin cards back to the deck. Nightmare Phoenix to go after back row. Alright. Dingirsu, again, for the climbing up the ladder to go into Dingirsu. Also an amazing card. Can return banished cards just to pop, not a pop, but bounce cards off the field, which is actually also a very good effect. Alright. Topological Trisbanium. Alright. Basically, summon to anything to the zones it points to, and you're basically taking out back row, which is an amazing card and effect to have in this deck. Link 4s, Borosaur, pretty self-explanatory for your OTK potential. You got Topological Bomber Dragon in there for board nukes. Keep problematic monsters off the field. And last but not least, we got the 2 instant fusion targets. I got 1 copy of Thousand Eyes Restricts, basically to steal your opponent's monsters, and ultimately then link off into Link Karibo. And of course, I also have El Shaddai Winda. This basically just restricts players to 1 summon per turn, which is actually pretty damn awesome. Alright guys, that's it for my Orcust deck profile for November 2019, excuse me. Guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe. Enable notifications, especially the YouTube notifications, so you don't miss a single upload. Guys, check out the description box below. Find the invite link to my Discord server. Join the conversation. We'd love to have you. Follow me on Twitter at BystanderX79. And guys, until next time, peace.